Is this thing working? I think it is. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and women and children of all ages and sizes. I forgot to say men, sorry. I'm not paying attention. Anyway, welcome to Austin and Ryan's Countdown to Christmas. This story is not particularly too Christmassy, but I thought you would like it just the same. Welcome to Eyes of Wonder. Eyes of Wonder. Starting off in a cold room with no windows, Arnold sat in his bed. He pondered how such a predicament could ever befall him at such a price. He sighed and turned around. Behind him, on messed-up bedsheets, sat a leather-bound black book. He knew it was his. Arnold took a deep breath and got up. His whole body felt unstable. He tried to walk and found difficulty in his movements. The big, rusty door stood a few feet away. Arnold inched toward the door, slowly, carefully, then stopped. He realized something. Who am I? He thought to himself. Arnold looked down. He was wearing what looked like a hospital gown. He got confused. Regaining his bearings, he asked, "Where am I?" He didn't have an answer. He just decided it would be best if he just continued on instead of waiting for nothing. Arnold made it to the door. He gripped the door handle and immediately felt a wave of dread and let go of the handle. It took a minute to regain his bearings. He forced himself to open the door and step out. It took quite a lot of strength to push open the door, considering how heavy it was. Arnold pushed a few times, only to be disappointed by his lack of progress. The door only opened an inch. He kept pushing with a little bit of strength, and finally he managed to open the door wide enough to squeeze through. He did so, and took his first step into the hallway. He was dumbstruck by what he was seeing. The hall was lined with paintings of very violent, gruesome images. Arnold gulped, turned left in the hallway. Every now and then he would spot a single dim light bulb lighting the way only enough to be able to see about 2 feet in front of him. Arnold continued walking, occasionally spotting doors, but when he looked inside, no one inhabited the space within. He began to get worried, asking himself where he was and how does he get out. Eventually, Arnold comes to a dead end, only to spot another door to his right, attached to the hallway. He tried the door, the knob. Damn it, he thought to himself. The door is locked, which would mean he would have to find a key or another escape route. On his way back to the room he woke up in, Arnold tried every door he saw, with each one being locked. After several minutes, he finally made it back to his room. He didn't want to make assumptions, but he also didn't want to try every door in the hallway to his right. So he was forced to assume. Looking around inside the room he woke up in, Arnold searched every last nook and cranny in the room. There were very few, so it didn't take long to search it. Arnold was just about to leave the room again, when he suddenly remembered something. The bed! He shouted to himself. Arnold rushed over to the bed and tossed around the bedsheets. He took the diary and carefully put it in his gown pocket. Arnold finally lifted up the pillow, and that's when he saw it. It was a small, rusty key, the size of a golf ball, under the pillow. Arnold picked it up and pushed it into his gown pocket, where the diary currently resided. Once again, Arnold turned to the doorway, only to jump back in fear. Something black and fast sped by the room he was currently occupying. Arnold carefully walked to the doorway, where he warily looked back and forth. Nothing. He swore he saw something. Arnold knew he wasn't crazy. Well, he didn't care for right now. He just knew he had to leave. He turned to the left hallway with a locked door at the end. He started walking slowly. You could hear his bare feet slapping against the cold stone floor. He was worried that whatever was there with him would try to pursue him. He walked quickly, caring less about how loud he was. Arnold looked behind himself frequently, making sure he was not being stalked by a malevolent force. He suddenly stopped, listening intently. He could swear he heard something roll on the floor. Looking down, Arnold discovered in horror a small object slowly rolling toward his feet. On closer inspection, it looked like a Christmas tree ornament. One of these hollow plastic balls with a string attached in order to hang on a Christmas tree. Arnold slowly crouched and picked it up. When he got back up, he began walking very slowly. Every step he took, Arnold felt more fear and dread grip his chest. He had never seen anything so menacing, but he continued on, and eventually came to the locked door. Arnold pushed the key in, and the door unlocked with ease. Arnold stepped inside. There, in the middle of the room, was a rocking chair. It looked fit for a 7-year-old girl. The chair was facing a TV directly in front of it. Arnold took another step inside. It appeared as if the chair was rocking, even though no one occupied it. There was nothing inside the lightless room besides the rocking chair and the TV, which had played static the whole time. Suddenly, a little girl appeared in the chair. Arnold gasped. The little girl slowly turned her head all the way around to an impossible degree. She grinned at him with an eerie smile. She laughed, and Arnold recoiled in horror. The little girl had a voice behind her own that was too deep to be hers. In panic, Arnold shut the door and ran back down the hallway. A few seconds later, he stopped short, remembering an object he had glimpsed in the far right corner. He headed back and stood outside the room, terrified of that little girl who still could be in there. It took a moment to find his remaining courage, and he opened the door. Inside, a rancid stench emanated, and Arnold held his breath. He could feel bile rising up his throat. He stepped through the doorway. Once he was inside, the door shut and locked behind him. Arnold knew coming here was a mistake. He looked up. A long, dark corridor stretched in front of him. Arnold gasped. He was sure this was where the little girl had appeared earlier, but now the room is completely different. It isn't even a room anymore. Arnold walked down the hallway. With each step, the smell growing stronger. He could see the doorway at the end, just barely visible. Arnold wanted to get out of this nightmare and to confront whoever was responsible for this horrid place. He started to jog, mad with fear, when he felt a presence behind him. It wasn't far, just a few feet away. Arnold refused to turn around for fear of what he might see.